So another narrative around this team, and I'm sure you've seen this too, Benji, across social media, is that this Knicks team is soft. So what, if anything, that you've seen shows up on film that could actually feed into that perception? And do you believe the Knicks are a soft team?
That's a pretty it's an aggressive word, soft.
I
I
agree.
don't think they're a soft team. And I always go back to um not so long ago when the Knicks defeated the Heat. And I think the best coach of the modern era probably, and Eric Spoelstra, got up in a post conference and said, and a post game conference and said, this team like just has an incredible will to win. He went on for about 3 minutes about how this Knicks team, you just have to put them away, or they're coming back and they're coming back and they're relentlessly always trying to win. That hasn't disappeared in the last 2 weeks. I don't believe it has. I don't believe this team is soft in that way. They have a tremendous competitive spirit. I won't go that far. I think when fans are talking about that, and where I think there's a little bit of a fair critique of the team's kind of ethos, is they're not a very physical team.
Mm.
And when I say that, I mean at the point of attack defensively, they're not physical at all. And increasingly in this league, we're seeing teams that just they basically unleash like two or three perimeter dogs on defense that'll just hound you up the court. The Knicks just don't have that. I mean, Deuce McBride's the closest thing they have, and Bridges and Anunoby, as talented defensively as they are, that's not really the type of defense they play. They're more passing lane kind of thieves, and they get and then they can disrupt things that way. But in terms of like aggressive, physical on ball defense, McBride's the closest thing they have, and they don't really have much after that. I think that's one thing that's a fair critique. The second thing is I don't want to focus on one player, but I think it's fair to criticize Mikal Bridges for frankly just never initiating contact, especially on offense. And this is a player who, I don't want to talk about everything they gave up for him, but he'll go literal 10-game stretches of shooting 0 to 2 or 3 free throws. And for a guy who's 6'8" with the arms that he has, it's just inexcusable that he never gets to the line. He's just not a guy who's willing right now to go up to the rim strong and force contact. And the Knicks, especially when Jalen Brunson sits, they need someone to get into the paint and make plays out of there. And Bridges just isn't willing. I think he's able. I just don't think he's really willing stylistically at this point in his career for whatever reason to mix it up down there. And I do think that's a fair criticism.